to scale a business. But it's also, for most people, the hardest thing to do. Why? Because one, to build a team you need leadership skills. Two, you need to know how to hire, where to hire, possibly. Because a team doesn't have to be just employees. A team can be partners. A team can be contractors. A team can be interns. A team could be people who just want to apprentice and work for free. So you don't always need resources like money. Money in the big scheme of things is probably the most abundant resource available. Just people get stuck on, I have to have that one thing, when a lot of the times you don't. Bye, I'll see you. There goes my baby. Where are you going? Oh, saying bye to Mr. Stewart. She's saying bye to Mr. Stewart the gardener. So, which, by the way, is building a team. I have Mr. Stewart, or Frederickson, because he doesn't want to be known by Stewart. Mr. Frederickson does my gardening. And Derek, our lighting guy here, knows a little bit about gardening and is able to kind of assess and see that guy's pretty dang good. But he does 10 times what I could ever do when it comes to planting things. His expertise, his mind. But whose vision is it? It's my vision. This is what I wanted. I wanted him to... only reason I hired him was because he has a similar vision to what I have. Most people plant in garden beds, and they plant in rows, and they plant in one of those big high hugelkultur things, if you know what that is. Okay. I don't want that. I want things to be like Mother Nature. I want what God has created to be all around my property and to use and leverage what is naturally there. And he does that, but on a scale that I could never do, ever. So we have Sweet Alyssum behind us. We have I forgot what those are called. Baby blue eyes. We have peas, raspberries, orange trees, apple trees. All these things growing because of him. Hi, baby. Oh, thank you. See, this is some Sweet Alyssum. Thank you. That is nice. You like that? No, you don't like it? But thank you. I'm supposed to give you flowers, not you give me flowers. I love you. So the other big hiccup is that people can't do what I do. I'm the visionary. Somebody I was just talking to said, I have the vision, and nobody can do what I do. And I've been in that place before too, because I've had podcasts, webinars. I've built several businesses. A dropshipping business that did $2 million a year. The current business that we're Inc. 5,000, fastest growing business. Probably Inc. 500. We'll see how that goes. But when you get past all of these things, you will find that in reality, all of them are crap. All of them are bogus. These little blocks. How you build a team is very, very, very simple. You feel a lot of pain, and you go through a lot of pain, and you get to the point initially where your health is fading, you don't have time, things like that. That is the easiest way to learn, or I should say the quickest way to learn. But hopefully you learn during that time that you are not special. 99% of what you do is not special. There are lots of videographers out there. There are lots of photographers out there. There's lots of people who do staffing, who've created staffing companies, who do gardening. Lots of people who do that, right? So what you do not have, for the most part, you do have this like little twist. I have a little twist on the business process outsourcing agency area, right? The BPO, I have my little twist of my guys, which is my guys document systems step by step into a process. And then they're able to do it, which solves most of this team building problem, right? Because we always think that only we can do this thing. But when you explain, for example, going to a wedding, what do you bring to the wedding? For if you're a videographer, what do you bring to a wedding? You bring your camera. You bring 3 sets of batteries. You, prior to the 24 hours prior to the wedding, you charge the batteries. 12 hours into it, you go and check and make sure that every battery is charged, because you might have thought that they're charging, but they actually weren't. So that gives you another 6 hours of leeway to make sure that they're charged just in case. You need your bags. You need your lighting system. You need you need your gimbal. You need all these things. So up front, you know exactly what to pack. And then on top of that, you know, you can set reminders 24 hours ahead of time with something like Monday.com or Asana or ClickUp or something like that to your cameraman. Get your crap ready, right? And then when you get to the place prior, what do? You do sound checks. You mic up anybody who needs to be mic'd up. You place mics anywhere, wherever. If you're gonna have mics around the place, condenser mics or something like that, where are you gonna place them? You place them here, 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 here. You talk with the host of the place, the reception place. You talk with the church. Where is the setup? Where can you go? Where can you not go? What are the shots that have to be there? Like the shot of the bride opening the door, or the people opening the door for the bride. That always has to be set in this way. Whatever. All of this is process. All of this is stuff that you might not be conscious of because you think of it, but all of this is process. And there are people out there that are able to follow that process. They have the skills to manage a camera, right? So, when you're building a team, number one, you have to know where to find people. People can be friends who want to apprentice and learn a skill. So if you need lighting people, like Derek over here, maybe he just wants to learn how do I do lighting, because lighting is a whole different industry. Like lighting, having a good lighting person is extremely valuable. It can go from lighting up something like this, what we're doing right here, which is not super technical, can be, to lighting up a whole sound stage for the next blockbuster movie, which is huge. But that's an art and a skill that's grown, that a lot of people just want to learn and will work for free, or they'll work for like dinner, or they'll work for clout or whatever. Or you have photographers who will work for hire, right? Maybe you make $500 off a gig and you pay them $250, or you pay them $100 for the gig, $100 an hour, and it's a 2-hour gig or whatever. And you make $500 off of that. But you are setting the parameters. These are the types of pictures we take all the time. We take, if it's a family shoot, we take one of the whole family. We take one of all of the kids individually. We'll take one of all of the girls. Take one of all of the boys. We take one of the wife and all of the girls, the wife and all of the boys. We take one of the husband and all of the girls, the husband and all of the boys, and we take one of husband and wife kissing, and then husband and wife smiling, and husband and wife in a funny picture or whatever. That's our process. If we do anything past that, great, but we always get those, right? You hire, you find a work for hire photographer, test them out for a while, let them go with you for a bit, maybe give them $50, maybe give them half, and then say, hey, after this, I want you to, this is what we do, this is the process, and after this, you're going to take over. And let them be the lead the next time, and you kind of be the secondary, and then off of that, boom, next. But the biggest thing with all of this is having documented processes that they can take home, or they can take on set, and they can have a reminder that, boom, this is what we do. Oh yeah, we forgot to take the husband and wife one. Let's go do that right now. Process is huge. Process is big. It's what the whole our whole Pro Sulum thing is about, right? Sometimes, we'll end in this. Sometimes, which this is what I love, you can find strategic partners. Back when I was doing websites, I was building out WordPress websites. I was amazing at sales. I don't like selling, but I was amazing at sales. And one thing I was lacking was design. Okay, I had people who worked for me in the Philippines who could create the most amazing WordPress websites, especially at the time. People would pay me $5,000, $10,000, and I would go and pay my guys a fraction of what that was, and I would just pocket the rest. It's pretty nice having a multi-$1,000 work week, which I didn't even do any of the work, right? But the two things I lacked was finding leads, which I was not great at. I could sell them, but I wasn't great at finding them. And then the design, the actual design. So if you don't know how a website works, you have a design, which is literally done on Photoshop. It's approved, and then it's sliced up, encoded, and made into a website. I had a partner at the time. I didn't pay her any money. She didn't pay me anything. There was no, hey, you're my employee. I'm your employee, or whatever. Her name was Tanya. I met her actually on Twitter. I was really big on Twitter at the time. We were doing a lot of tweet ups and social media events and stuff. And she was extremely good at finding leads, very good at finding leads, and great at design. And so what would happen is she'd find a lead. I would go sell to that lead. She would go and do the design part, which I didn't want to do. She would then hand me the finished design. Then I would hand the design to my guys overseas. They'd chop it up, give it back to Tanya. Tanya would say, that is great, let me give it to the client. The client would say, can you make these tweaks? Make a few tweaks. Boom, done, $10,000, done. She made, I forgot what we had. It was like, she made half of that or whatever. My guys made a fraction of it, and I made the rest. Something like that, where it was an equitable deal. But I didn't have to do any of the lead generation. I didn't have to do any of the design at all. In fact, I had my website guys. I didn't have to do any of the website. I just had to sell, which I at the time I liked selling. I hate selling now. I don't like selling. You know that? I shouldn't say I hate selling because I have to sell to someone tomorrow. I have to sell to somebody. Are you rejecting me?
No.
No? Okay, good. So, why is this important? It's important because what you're doing isn't special. What you're doing can be turned into a process, a documented process. But the only way to scale is to start now. Find, whether it's an employee, whether it's a strategic partner, somebody who wants to get into the field that you're in, and start making deals. Start documenting how you want things to be. Step by step, actually in a document, step by step, this is how I want it. Or have someone else do it. This is why I don't like documenting. That's why we have Pro Sulum. We have the guys overseas who will document it for you, and then they'll do it if it's obviously something remote. But they'll document it step by step because I don't want to do that, right? They'll document it, and now that person knows exactly what your vision is, when they go out into the field. And if they don't do what they're supposed to do in that process, now you can say, dude, why did you not do this? Or if they go above and beyond, you can give them a bonus. Right? It's not rocket surgery, but it is hard letting go. But it's much easier letting go when you actually have it documented and you can just hand it to somebody. So, that being said, go check out ProSulum.com. Start building your team now. Stop being a scaredy cat. Let things go, and I will talk to you in the next Pro Sulum video.